Welcome to episode 8 of Sales for Nice People, the daily podcast where ethical entrepreneurs come to learn how to sell more because of your values and not despite them. Today in episode 8, we're going to look at pillar 2 of the Sales for Nice People framework, the sales methodology that I developed and that really helps people with high integrity sell more of their work without ever having to be scuzzy or sleazy or pushy. There's 4 pillars, as I said yesterday. There's the listen, the explain, the ask, and profit. Today in pillar 2, profit, Today in pillar 2, explain, we're going to look at how that works and why hyping is actually the worst thing that you can do. So let's see if I can share my screen here, which is supposed to put me on the side. Does that work? Yeah, okay. For those listening and not viewing, I'm testing some new video layout for screen sharing and try to get a better quality. Anyway, Sales for Nice People, the essentials, pillar 2, explain. Now, most of the times, what happens when people try to sell something, they try to convince the buyer of what a great idea it is to get this solution. You end up trying to pitch and trying to convince and persuade, which in the rule book of Sales for Nice People is actually one of the core tenets. Never convince, never persuade. Because when you do that, you are trying to show the buyer that you are right. That then automatically makes them wrong. And that causes, again, psychological reactance. It causes people to lean out. So the worst thing that you can do is to try and build a convincing, compelling case. This is why the first pillar is listening, because there you're asking questions. And if you do that right, your buyer ends up building their own case for buying from you. So what you want to do when you are in the explain mode of Sales for Nice People, of having ethical sales conversations, is enable people to self-select. You want your buyer to identify themselves as the right candidate for this particular offer. Or indeed, you want your buyer to have the opportunity to deselect themselves and say, yeah, this is not for us, this is not the right time, this is not the right package, not the right program, whatever the reason may be. You're there to help them understand what's in the tin, what is not in the tin, and who it is for. If you do that right, then it becomes very easy for your buyer to self-select, to enroll themselves. So the 5 parameters that go together with explaining. The first is the goal. You want your buyer to gain trust. You want it to be very clear, perceived, understood, felt on a visceral level that you're looking out for them, that you're interested in their best interest, that you are only interested in them making the best choice, even if that is to not buy from. Now, for that, the archetype that you want to lean into as one of the parameters is you want to position yourself as a trusted advisor, whose agenda is my buyer's best choice. My agenda is not to get you to buy something from me. My agenda is to make sure you make the right choice for yourself, even if that is to not buy. That means that parameter 3, the driver, is honesty. And by the way, if you're listening to this, in the show notes, you will find a PDF with the different drivers that you can download, and then you have a bit of an overview. And if you're watching this and you want to download the useful little resource, then that is for you as well. Anyway, your driver is honesty. You want to be very clear about what they can expect from your offer, what they shouldn't expect, and if they expect things that you do not provide, that it's okay to walk away. The pitfall, parameter number 4, is that you end up trying to hype, trying to convince, trying to persuade. But the truth is, when people are looking at solving a problem, they don't give a damn about your better mousetrap. They're not interested in how good, how new, how award-winning your offer is. The only thing that the buyer is interested in is the knowledge and the certainty and the trust. Again, explaining is about gaining trust. The trust that you are there to solve their problem, or that you are there to help them make a decision that is right for them. And so hyping, trying to convince more, is exactly the opposite of what you want to do. You want to bring everything down to a very basic, sober-minded explanation of what's in the tin, what's not in the tin. The action, parameter number 5, that goes with explaining, then therefore is for people to be able to self-select or deselect. So when your goal is to gain trust, your archetype is to be the trusted advisor, the driver is honesty, and you are very careful not to fall into the pitfall of hyping your stuff, you automatically enable your buyer to self-select. And that is how the explain phase of Sales for Nice People works. Tune in again tomorrow for another episode of Sales for Nice People, where we will look at pillar number 3, asking. And meanwhile, if you want to get the full 10-week training, which is a one-on-one program where I teach you every week one of the steps, the pillars of Sales for Nice People, you learn how to communicate with people in such a way that selling actually becomes a very enjoyable experience, because you learn how to serve your people in the sales process. If you want to know more about that, go to martinsteller.com/SFNP, Sales for Nice People. And with that said, tune in again tomorrow. I am Martin Steller. I help nice people sell more, and I hope to see you soon.